Not of branch ECC section. In this presentation I am going to talk about shock waves. What are shock waves? In these topics we have covered introduction of shock waves, formation of shock waves, characteristics of shock waves, types of shock waves, shock wave example. Let's see one by one. Introduction of shock wave. Shock wave, a strong pressure wave in any elastic medium such as air, water, or a solid substance produced by supersonic aircraft explosions, lightning, or other phenomena that create violent changes in pressure. Shock waves differ from sound waves in that the wavefront in which compression takes place is a region of sudden and violent change in stress, density, and pressure. Because of this, shock waves propagate in a manner different from that of ordinary acoustic waves. In particular, shock waves travel faster than sound, and, and their speed increases as the amplitude is raised, but the intensity of a shock wave also decreases faster than does that of a sound wave, because some of the energy of the shock wave is expended to heat the medium in which it travels. The amplitude of a strong shock wave, as created in air by an explosion, decreases almost as the inverse square of the distance until the wave has become so weak that it obeys the law of acoustic waves. Shock waves alter the mechanical, electrical, and thermal properties of a solids and thus can be used to study the equation of state, that is a relation between pressure, temperature, and volume of any material. Next, the formation of shock waves. How shock waves are formed? That is, shock waves are formed when a pressure front moves at a supersonic speeds and pushes on the surrounding air. At the region where this occurs, sound waves traveling against the flow reach a point where they cannot travel and further upstream, and the pressure progressively builds in that region. A high pressure shock wave rapidly forms. And characteristics of shock waves. What are the characteristics of shock waves? For the first one is comparing supersonic flows, we may achieve an increase in an expansion through an expansion fan. For instance, the known expansion fan is a Pandit-Meyer expansion fan, which is known as Pandit-Meyer expansion fan. Coupled with the expansion wave may approach, collide, and lastly recombine with the shock wave, creating a process of destructive interference. The sonic boom associates with the passage of a supersonic aircraft, which is a type of sound wave produced as a result of constructive interference. When a shock wave passes through matter, energy preserves, however, entropy increases. And when a shock wave passes through, um, this change in matter's properties, as a rule, manifests itself as a decrease in energy. However, we can extract work from this energy also as a drag force on supersonic objects. And what are the types of shock waves? There are three types of shock wave: conclusive shock waves, oblique shock wave, and max shock wave. Let's see one by one. What is concussive wave? The concussive wave is a blast of energy given off by an exploding object, which gives blast of energy, which gives energy when it explodes object. By explosion of an object, it gives a blast of energy. Further, the explosion compresses the air immediately surrounding the site of detonation. As a result, the compressed air scatters in all directions away from the source, growing weaker the further the wave travels. Incidentally, a person close to the source or detonation can get affected by the blast. The person may feel the blast, that the wave which comes, the wave which travels. Oblique wave. The next one is oblique wave. For analyzing shock waves, we attach them to the body. After that, we find that shock waves deviate at an arbitrary angle from the flow direction. Meanwhile, we call this shock wave the oblique shock wave. And as a matter of fact, these shock waves require a component vector analysis of the flow. However, doing so permits the flow treatment in a direction orthogonal to the oblique shock as a normal shock. And the last one is Mach wave. A Mach wave is a pressure wave in fluid dynamics. It is a pressure wave in fluid dynamics. It travels with the speed of sound by a slight change of pressure added to a compressible flow. Next, the shock wave example. A medium carries various characteristics with itself, such as stress, density, and temperature. When a supersonic aircraft, lightning, or explosion expel a strong pressure, when it explodes, it expels a strong pressure wave or a shock wave. In an elastic medium, an intense change in pressure occurs inside the medium. Here, strong wave pressure from a supersonic aircraft is a cone comprising spherical wavefronts. Also, the term supersonic itself says that expels the waves having much more speed than the of the speed of sound in air. The below image describes the spherical wavefronts. This is a picture. Um, it's a supersonic. It's a normal shock wave. It is a supersonic flow. That and the last one is bow wave. It is a conclusion. Therefore, shock waves are strongly irreversible process. The capability of shock waves to generate non-linear pressure and temperature spikes in the medium of propagation finds very interesting application in variety of areas, that is such as medicine, biological sciences, material processing, manufacturing, and microelectric industries. Thank you.